So we're doing the halting motion, or that stopping just below your knee, to help create tension into your lats and maintain good pulling mechanics from the floor. And the other piece is just repetition to get the deadlift motion down and to be able to be comfortable maintaining tension throughout your entire body. So as always, I like to start these big compound movements with talking about your bracing and breathing pattern and really filling your midsection full of air through your diaphragm and create an expansion into your obliques to where you're pushing out to brace to be able to keep a neutral spine. A lot of times people will kind of like suck in and then they're going to do excessive rounding of their upper back. Not that rounding is bad, but just we want to be able to brace through our midsection to be able to have good breathing patterns for stability, to set yourself for success as we build the weight, okay? So another way to think about it is if you take a belt and you put it around your belly button and you put it like one notch too loose, you want to be able to breathe out into that belt and fill up all the space. When I get set up, I like to have a somewhat of a narrow stance, especially if I'm doing a conventional deadlift, which is what the demonstration was at the beginning of the video. So my feet are a little bit inside my shoulders, probably a tiny bit inside of my hips as well. And I prefer to toe out just a little bit. It's just more comfortable for me to get into that bottom position. The other piece is being able to engage your lats. So a simple way to feel that is just standing, taking your hands, reaching toward the floor as hard as you can. You'll feel your lat, and most of you will feel it in your chest as well. And then from this position, I'm going to breathe in through my nose, expand my belly, and now I have a good starting position. So I have all this tension, but I can still talk. A lot of people will bear down and have a hard time maintaining this relationship of the tension and the lats, and then you ask them a question or ask them to talk and they can't talk. You should be able to maintain a conversation and keep that tension through your midsection. Then when I go down to the bar, I'm going to grab the bar, I'm going to pull the tension out of the bar. Typically you'll be able to hear a little bit of a click. And then when I stand up, I'm going to come to just below my knees, come back down, stand all the way up nice and tall, and go back to that bottom position. So it's key that when you're doing the lifting portion or the pull from the floor, when you go back down and come back up, you're trying to have relatively straight bar path. You're trying not to sway front to back, and you're trying not to avoid your knees. That's another mistake that we'll see a lot in our gym is when people are pulling from the floor, they're trying to pull around their knees to avoid the knees, the bar hitting the knees. As long as you're extending your legs and your hips at the same rate, the bar is not going to hit your knees. The last piece here is remembering to breathe, because this is a two-part movement, right? We're going to come up, pause, back to the ground, stand back up. You got to be breathing with each rep so you're not bearing down and getting lightheaded as you're going through it. And then, not last piece, I lied, foot pressure. We want to make sure that the pressure under our foot is equalized. So these shoes are okay for deadlifting, preferably barefoot or a very minimalist style shoe. What we want to avoid is having a thick cushioned shoe, because when you go to push, it's going to give away and you're going to have a lot of instability that's happening. You won't be able to feel the floor very well.